Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be one that I should have uploaded a while ago, but I just realized that I have not shown or given my take on the infographic that I have for the Kyoku Solo Bommal 90 hard Doom Tower Dreadhorn build, and I was kind of looking like, oh my goodness, the Doom Tower is going to be ending today in 12 hours, and I forgot to do that video. You know how it is with the holidays and all the different projects that are always going on, but this video may come out at a weird time, but I want to at least get it out there before the Doom Tower ends. And then, you know, hey, for the next rotation, 2 months from now, whatever, at least it will be out there for that time at Bommal, because I have not covered this build yet and I wanted to do so. So let's get into it. Alrighty, now first of all, I do have a text version of this linked down below if you would like to pull it up and take a look and have access to that infographic and everything in relation to this build. That is linked down below in the video description and also the pinned comment. So then in this video, I will talk about my experience putting together Kyoku to do this and some of the different stat thresholds you're going to want to get to, which revolves around that infographic that I put together for the build and the masteries and all of that when it comes to clearing Bommal. But I do want to make sure and give credit. I did not come up with this build myself. I actually got this video. I don't know if Hell Hades created it or not, but the first time that I heard of this build was from Hell Hades. So Hell Hades runs a great YouTube channel. Obviously, you probably know who Hell Hades is. He also has a great hellhades.com website. So I do want to give credit where I personally got this build, and I'll give you my kind of take on running it. And first of all, around Kyoku as a champion. Now, Kyoku was a guaranteed summoning event back in April of 2022 for 15 sacred shards. Now, at the time, I did pull for the Kyoku with the 15 sacreds, but I wasn't thinking about Bommal. I was thinking about like, you know, it's the new faction. I want to get a legendary in the new faction, and I can maybe use her as a tank in one of my defensive, like, tag team arena teams and stuff like that. That was kind of my thought process back then, but little did we know that there would be an opportunity to crush Bommal even on the hardest difficulty in a solo build revolving around her. So then for the actual build itself, we are obviously going to be taking advantage of the regeneration set. This is probably the best set in the game for trying to solo down difficult content with a cheese solo strategy like this. And then anything that we can do around that, we just need to hit these different parameters on the right of the HP, the defense, and then the speed and the accuracy. I do have a green caveat here where it says optimizing accuracy around 230 to 250 can speed up the run a bit, but it isn't required. Since, you know, the main goal is to get through the stage. Like, you can literally build Kyoku for this, get past Bommal 90, and then take off that godly regeneration gear and place it somewhere else if you want. A lot of people are just interested in getting through the boss once, so I don't think speed clearing is a priority, and the run is still reasonable. It's like 4 to 6 minutes. It's not like it's a 20-minute run or anything, or any of those miserable strategies where you're manualing for 30 minutes with Crimson Helm or anything. It is auto with some simple custom AI presets. So I wouldn't feel too bad about how long it is going to take, but you do need to hit a proper 358 true speed, which I do have a video on how to calculate true speed here on the channel, but you're going to have to get to that threshold, which involves taking some masteries that are going to help you bump up that speed, and you can also use an aura like Lady Kimmy. So yeah, the gear is pretty self-explanatory. As long as you're hitting those stats with the regeneration set, you should be good to go. And if you want to see my actual total stats on the build, you can see I've got the 292 speed right there, and then the other stats. And then the way that I'm going to be hitting, I think my build's like 362 true speed or something. We're going to take the mastery Spirit Haste, and then obviously some of the other champions that we bring to help clear the waves and stuff are going to be gone, and we'll get that 24 speed. And then also we make sure that Kyoku gets 3 kills on the way to the boss, and that will be another 18. Then we couple that with the bonus from the aura. Those 3 things on top of the sheet speed that I have in game will get me up over that threshold of that 358 true speed that I need to get to. And like I said, since I already just covered true speed recently, I don't want to bore some of you that have already seen that and already know how, but I will also link to this full post breaking down exactly what true speed is and how to calculate it down below right next to that text version of the build. Also worth noting, if I take a look at the skills, we do need the cooldowns here for Kyoku. We've got the booked up abilities here for Kyoku, but that is the build, the skills, the masteries right there, and all of that is detailed in the graphics. So now let's talk about the presets and what goes into actually doing the run. So when we get ready to go ahead and test our build, like you said, you've got the speed aura if you need it to help you get up to that true speed. And then you can optimize this to have maybe champions like Skull Crown and stuff like that that are super squishy and are just there to blast down the waves and get through the waves a little bit faster, but you want to make sure they die by the time you get to the boss, or else it can start mixing up your run if you have weird things going on when you're at the boss. You want Kyoku to just be in a solo situation against the boss. So now let me pull up the custom AI and walk you through the thought process. It's going to be pretty similar to a lot of the things that you're doing for a solo build when you want to get to the boss. You're going to need to make sure you're going into that fight with all of your cooldowns at your disposal. And this is why I have got the Kyoku A3 here just completely turned off on round 2. I don't want to risk that thing being on cooldown by the time I get to the boss. And then this is going to be the most important part. We are going to open up as like a delay of our cooldown abilities. We're going to open up with the A1 as our opener and then default after that. Then we're going to prioritize the A2 with number 2 on the Kyoku's Horde. So make sure you take note of that page, set that up with your Kyoku. And then other than that, it really doesn't matter. You can kind of min-max clearing the waves however you would like, and you will be perfectly good to go. The main thing to get right is, like I said, just making sure that when we get to wave 3, we can open up with our A1 and then prioritize the A2 and put a number 2 next to the A3. It is also worth noting that sometimes this is not going to be a 100% win rate. Doom Tower keys are free. We just need to get through the boss. And even if it's like a 50-60% win rate, that's perfectly fine. But I do want to show you, just for the sake of education and keeping you informed, that we can fail. So I did record some footage to show you. If you get some bad RNG or something like this happens, you get 3 bombs on the Kyoku. It's very rare, but it happens. And just things are off, not going your way. Boom, you can get blown up and you can fail the run. It doesn't happen to me very often with the build, but I want to make sure you see that this can happen. You can get in a sticky situation like this, get blown up, and boom, lose the run. But now let's go ahead and pop up what the full run is going to look like. Now I've got this sped up so that you don't have to be bored watching a 5 or 6 minute run here. We can talk about it on the sped up version. So you can see I didn't even really optimize. I could probably save a minute or so if I really wanted to by optimizing the wave clearing, and I could also save a little bit of time by doing what I had written on the caveat of the bottom of the graphic, where you can go ahead and optimize the accuracy to have enough, a little bit more reliable placing of the HP burns onto the minions and stuff without landing things on Bommal himself. So we're just going to go through, clear the waves. It's pretty simple, and it's ideal that just like this, you have everybody gone besides Kyoku when you get to kind of the last few of wave 2. That way you go into the boss fight with everything set up how we kind of talked about. Fast forward a little bit, and here we go. You see we open up with the A1, and then boom, and we're off to the races, and right now we are in our rotation, and we're good to go. As long as we don't get some sort of horrible RNG, I end up being at like a 60-70% win rate, and it goes pretty well, and it's not a big deal that it takes about 6 minutes or so. As long as I can get through Bommal and not have to sit here and painstakingly manual it, I am good to go, and I am fine with that. So now let's fast forward a little bit, and you can see the run coming to a close, and it is going to be, I think, just under 7 minutes, but I have cleared it under 6 before, obviously with a little bit of different RNG on how the run goes and all of that. So that is going to be the Kyoku build and an example of the run functioning, both failing and being successful. So there we go. Sorry about rushing this out right before the end of the Doom Tower. I meant to do this a couple days ago, and it just got lost in the workflow, unfortunately. But if it helped anybody out there, it's worth it, and then at least we'll have it for the next rotation of the Doom Tower. I'm not the first person to use this build, but I do get asked about it a lot. So since I did do it and use it on my main account, and I have some experience running it, I wanted to make sure that my viewers have access to that information as well. And all of the links you'll need are down below if you would like to pull up any of that stuff as far as the infographic and how to calculate true speed and all of that. So that'll do it for me on this one, and remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace.